What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and the D&D Movie released another trailer today. It shows additional footage and behind-the-scenes stuff, so I thought we could take a look at it. I'd love to play it and let you hear it, but unfortunately it has Led Zeppelin music in the background, and if I do, it'll be immediately demonetized. So I'm going to do my best to have the music be very, very low, and then I will try to talk over top of it as best as I can. This is unfortunately the problem. I know you want to watch the trailer and then have me talk about it, but if you can hear the music in any perceptible amount in the background, YouTube will flag it for demonetization. That's just how these things work. So here it is, set to come out again March 31st. It was originally the beginning of March 2023. It was pushed back. So let's go ahead and open this up, and we'll go ahead and watch from the beginning, and then we'll do an analysis. So I don't know how loud that is in the background. I'm going to attempt to talk over it. We can see a bunch of cool stuff. We can see now there's music in the background. And Chris Pine's saying that it's the classic hero's journey, which is very cool. I like everything that I'm seeing here. All the background with Themberchaud. We got a red wizard, which is very cool. Revel's End, right? Yeah, so we got a cool new axe, and it looks like it's going to get upgraded here in just a sec. Look at that. That's awesome, right? And we got all new magic items. We see there's some roguery there, stealing and theft. Paladins being paladins, which is cool. We see, again, here's another red wizard. Maybe green flame blade, looks like, which is very cool. Nuance coming from each individual actor, apparently. I get some puzzle solving here, and
Trusting that you will protect it with your very life. I will. Hold this.
so Hugh Grant, first appearance on screen. His name is Forge, by the way. He says he's not as evil as a red wizard. So we see some combat, more stuff here. We got, again, a mimic. Look at the animatronics on this with the practical effects. Aarakocra, Yuan Ti. This is really... I'm in it, man. I am all for this movie. I am probably, unfortunately, optimistic on this. It probably is gonna be a... No. I'm manifesting it right now. It's gonna be a good movie, and I want to go see it. All right, I do. I want to see it. I want to have good media for Dungeons and Dragons. That's just what I want. And you know what? You can feel however you want to feel about it. It might look like it's full of shenanigans and craziness, but like, have you played Dungeons and Dragons? It is full of that shit. So, let's go ahead and mute it, and we'll play it back from the beginning. All right, and then we'll see. All right, so we can see, I don't know if you saw, there was actually a leg, like there was a statue here at one point, and the statue is now missing. It also looked like maybe this, oh, look, here's the head. Looks like the head of a giant or some sort of statue is broken here. Let's keep going. All right, I see some symbolism here. Also, I'm noticing now the tattoos and things on Michelle Rodriguez's character here. And she does have this axe, which is not lit up or kind of lava-fied at the moment. Okay, we can see here's our black dragon. Spitting acid, which is pretty cool to see. I don't also notice any other kind of iconography in the background. I gotta say, I like the casting, too. And everybody seems to be taking it seriously. He's obviously, like... I guess they're calling him the Bard, but I think he's more like a rogue. And obviously, we've got our Paladin over here, and he's kind of pontificating, and he's like, can anybody else ride next to this guy? Running away from guards, dropping a portcullis. Okay. Now, this is interesting, because they all appear to be underground somewhere, right? This here's, you see lava here. This looks to possibly be Themberchaud's lair. We can see these statues are holding bowls full of gold and things of that nature, which is neat. I don't remember that part of Out of the Abyss, if I'm being honest with you. But here he is, roaring in all of his chunky nature. We have, here's our red wizard here. casting some sort of spell. We don't know what that is, but knocking him back. There's the Revel's End, which we now know was created for Rime of the Frost Maiden because they wanted to have a recognizable location in the movie. Okay, going to a tavern for a drink. Hitting this guy in the head with a lute. She catches the axe. I wonder if that was her axe previously, or if that was just now something that she gained from it. Also, everybody seems super jazzed to play these characters. I mean, I know they're actors, right? So they're really jazzed about playing it, or they're just good actors. I don't know. You let me know. And look at this. Now, there's art. I think there's art of an axe that looks like this. I'm pretty sure there is. For something. Maybe this is like a flame tongue axe, which would be very cool if that was what happened. We got this helmet. I'm not sure what it is. It looks like, I don't know if it's supposed to be iconic, but it looks like it's like telekinetic blast there. Ooh. I think I saw something on the door behind him here. There's some sort of symbols going on over there glowing. All right. Then here's a red wizard. Oh, here he is. Stealing, it looks like either golden dragons or something from a cauldron. That's Chris Pine's character again. Also, what's up with all the red dust on all the bottoms of the trees here in this forest? That's interesting. Noticing some scarification on Michelle Rodriguez's character as well. All right, here's the whole party together as a whole. We can see we've got just, some like lanterns here. Looks like they might have come down via a rope. I think he's calling out that there's evil ahead, right? Paladin sensing evil. And then look, that's gotta be Green Flame Blade, right? Like the spell. I guess it could be Flame Blade, but it's cooler if an Acquisitions Incorporated spell ends up canonically in the D&D movie. And here we can see them fighting. Paladin winning. Because he's the Paladin. They're the best. Okay. Can't tell if that's part of the movie or if that's just part of the camera rig. Looks like that might be part of the camera rig. Solving some sort of puzzle here to get that helmet, which again we see it again. This seemingly like telekinetic based helmet. Here's Hugh Grant. Now they're saying his name is Forge. I think a lot of people were thinking he was going to be like Daggle Neverember. Forge could also be a code name or something like a nickname, but here he is again, pendant around his neck. Here's our red wizard appearing, maybe Misty Step or something like that, Dimension Door, generating some sort of a spell. She's pushing, I don't know what that was. Here she see, oh, I didn't even notice in the original image she's floating up in the air here, casting down this either meteor swarm or fireball that's getting blocked with a shield. Trying to see if we can see anybody. I know that the original characters from the cartoon are supposed to be a cameo. Trying to see if we can find them anywhere. There's our mimic. Now these animatronics, I mean, this could have been so easily done with CG. The fact that they're actually doing real practical effects and things. This looks like that might be, hang on, let's go back. Is that a Sahuagin? Trapped in a, or maybe Kuatoa caught in a fishing net, which is pretty cool to see. We have an Aarakocra here. This orc, maybe? I don't know. Very clearly a Yuan-Ti. Look at this. That almost looks like that might be real effects, possibly, here. You can see the tail in the cave, or like look over here. The tail. Maybe this is a CG effect. But if that's practical, that's very well done. This might also be in Revel's End, where all the prisoners are held. Here's our owlbear again. Themberchod over here, breathing fire as our party runs past. Can we see anybody in the crowd? Doesn't really look like we're going to be able to pull much information from the crowd here. Here they are running in this maze. I still think this is a stupid move. Why you dive into a gelatinous cube to avoid a displacer beast? Like, that's a good way to die. Um, Apparently, this might be part of Michelle Rodriguez's character's backstory, perhaps, right? Or, I mean, she clearly is in all her barbarian garb. I also been trying to see what this like symbol on her chest is. If this is like of a like a holy symbol or a devotion to a god of some kind. So this could be something that happens during the course of the movie, or this could be possibly reflecting back on happier times. Maybe this is the tragic backstory. I don't know. Um, Everybody looks like they're having fun on set. Skulking about. Oh, we got like maybe a lightning bolt here. Man, I am all for this movie. You know, I mean, you guys may not know this about me, but I love bad movies. First of all, that was always a thing I used to do for my birthdays growing up. Is I would go rent crappy horror films, and I love like goofy B movie related kind of stuff. I enjoy watching like so bad they're good movies. Like everything, if you've ever watched Best of the Worst and you know what I'm talking about, like that's the kind of shit I live for. I love that. But I also love Dungeons and Dragons, and I also don't mind just goofy popcorn fun movies. And honestly, this seems like a summer popcorn movie just coming out in March. And honestly, I liked some of the D&D movies. The original one with Jeremy Irons, not so much, but the Wrath of the Dragon, Shadow Dragon, whatever it was, the second one that was like a sci-fi original movie, Shadow of the Dragon God, whatever it was. I actually kind of liked that movie. It was very good representation of I thought, what third edition D&D was. I enjoyed a lot of the aspects of seeing the different characters interact, running out of spell slots and things you wouldn't normally see in a traditional fantasy, like tapping into D&D terms, finding things. There was a Ring of the Ram in that movie. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And I want to go see it. And I think I'm probably going to enjoy it because yeah, it looks like I said goofy and chaotic and crazy, but so is D&D. So I'm on board. Listen, D&D movie, if you need somebody who's in the D&D community to show up to your red carpet event, I'd love to do it. But I really do I'm very excited for this movie. Like I said, maybe it's foolishly so, but I'm on board. And I hope it does well because it's going to be kind of one of those things like what we're seeing with the Super Mario Brothers movie, honestly, right? Nintendo made a Super Mario Brothers movie. I also love that movie because I'm a child of the 80s and 90s when that movie came out. And while a lot of other people may hate it, I love that movie. And like I understand that it's not a great Super Mario Brothers movie, but it was my Super Mario Brothers movie, so I love it. Um, but like that turned Nintendo off from making any movies for like 20 plus years. So they were like, no, we're not doing it. And now they're finally trying to do it again. So I hope this new Super Mario Brothers movie does really well because it'll encourage them to keep making them. Just like they did an in the theater, name actor Jeremy Irons D&D movie and it did horribly. And it wasn't a great film. Like somebody had a beholder as a pet. I remember, like in the market, like not a gazer, like a beholder. Um, and then they released a couple of other like straight to DVD, straight to video, straight to television, the Shadow of the Dragon God or whatever it was. And then there was another one, the Book of Vile Darkness was another D&D movie. There's like 3 of them out there. Um, and I'm hoping that since they kind of took a break from that and have decided to go all out and make a truly legitimate movie. Also, I like that they're not just calling it Dungeons and Dragons like they were calling the original one. They're giving it a title. It makes it kind of tied to a specific like campaign idea so they can make more. And if this does well, this might encourage D&D to want to and WotC and Hasbro to realize that there's money in D&D entertainment outside of just the games and maybe video games, but there hasn't really been much other than some Baldur's Gate stuff. Um, I'm hopeful that if this does well, this will say like, hey, maybe we could get a D&D TV series, whether or not that's up in the air due to the sale of Entertainment One. Hey, there is a market for a D&D animated series, whether it's something wholly new, whether it's a D&D animated series that reprises the left where it left off with the original cartoon from the 80s, probably not. People would love to see that. That could be like a short movie, like a 90-minute movie, animated movie. People would watch that. I'd love to see more D&D content. I mean, we have comic books. They're fewer. I don't think they're super I don't know if they're still coming out, but they were coming out pretty frequently back in the day. Uh I don't know. When I say back in the day, I mean like 10 years ago, but either way. Yeah, I really hope it does well because I want to see more D&D media. It's also a fun way to get other people who are not D&D fans to possibly think about playing the game. If they go and see this movie and they're like, "Man, that Dungeons and Dragons movie was really fun. I really enjoyed. What's up with all those creatures?" And you, as your possible resident D&D expert to these people, are like, "Oh, that was an owlbear." And they're like, "Well, what's the story behind an owlbear?" And you kind of give them a little bit. What's the story behind a mimic? You give them a little bit more. Why does that dragon breathe acid and the other one breathes fire? What's up with that? You tell them, and they're like, "Well, there's a lot of cool stuff here." And you'd be like, we could play Dungeons and Dragons, and I could show you what it's like, and you could experience, encountering all of those things. And that is probably, I mean, that's the linchpin idea behind this, right? It does well. The movie does well. You get, obviously, all of us D&D fans, we're going to go see this movie, right? Because we want it to be good and we want to see it. But they're also hoping that maybe they can hook some folks who just want to go to the movies and see a cool fantasy movie, or the people who just go routinely to the movies all the time. And maybe there's a conversion rate factor there where they take a bunch of, maybe it's only 5%, maybe it's 30%, right? Of people who go to this movie who weren't playing D&D before, and they at least try it out once. And then from that amount, maybe a smaller percentage of those actually stick with the game and become big fans. So I'm hopeful. I know I said that a bunch, but it's just I'm excited and I want it to do well. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, and I will see you all next time.